Good evening, dear viewer, and welcome back to Souls Explained. Tonight, we take you to a concert. Sold out every single night for years. You cannot buy tickets because this show plays in one venue only, the inside of one human's head. It is 11 p.m. Our human was warm, comfortable, and approximately 90 seconds from sleep. And then the house lights go up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Apology Tour. Tonight's opening number, a conversation from 3 years ago, performed in full with director's commentary. You know the one. The dinner where they made a joke, and one person at the end of the table did not laugh. And somewhere between the dessert and this very moment, that silence was upgraded to a crime requiring nightly review. Watch our human's face on the pillow. The body is horizontal. The mind is on stage under a spotlight, holding a microphone, saying, "Remember this one? Let's watch it again. Slower this time." If you have ever apologized in your head at midnight to a person who has not thought about you in years, then congratulations, dear viewer. You already have front row seats. Stay with us. This tour has many stops. Every great tour has a set list, and our humans is extensive. Stop 1. 2014, the joke that landed wrong. The audience member in question moved abroad years ago and remembers nothing, but the venue in our human's head still sells out. Stop 2. 2017, the birthday they forgot. They apologized at the time. It was accepted at the time. Cake was eaten by everyone involved. The case, however, was quietly reopened by the night court and remains, to this day, active. Stop 3. 2019, the waiter who said, "Enjoy your meal," to which our human replied, with full confidence, "You too." The waiter has served 11,000 tables since. Our human still visits that restaurant in their mind the way other people visit memorials. And Stop 4, added just this week, the message that got a short reply. One word, a period at the end. Our human has read that period the way scholars read ancient scrolls, and has concluded that it means everything is ruined. Notice, dear viewer, what all these venues have in common. No one else ever bought a ticket. Every seat, every night, is filled by the same person, the one on stage, apologizing to an empty room. And oh, the rehearsals, because our human does not simply replay these moments. They draft responses, full apology speeches, dear viewer, written, edited, and performed in the shower for conversations that ended years ago. Watch them at the sink, mouthing the words. What I should have said was, there's a version with humor, in case the imaginary audience needs warming up. A version with tears, held in reserve. A version so long it has an intermission. Meanwhile, let's check in on the other people involved. The person from a dinner? Asleep. Happy. Currently dreaming about a boat. The birthday friend? Still their friend, by the way. Loves them. Made them soup in February. The waiter? Dear viewer, the waiter is fine. Nobody, anywhere on this planet, is waiting for these apologies. The tour has an audience of exactly one. And that one person is also the performer, the critic, and the judge who keeps extending the sentence. And here is the exhausting arithmetic of it. Every night our human spends touring the past. The present sits at home, unattended, like a lovely meal going cold. They're so busy apologizing for who they were, they keep missing who they are. And then, one night, between the 2014 stop and the waiter memorial, someone walks in backstage. Dreadlocks tied up in a bun. Beard. Calm eyes. He does not knock because, technically, he was always in there somewhere. He picks up the set list, reads every stop, all the years, all the crimes, and then says the last thing our human expects. This is not a criminal record. This is a receipt. The room goes quiet. Look at what you replay, he says. A laugh that did not land. A birthday. A stranger's evening you were still hoping went well. You do not review these because you're a bad person. You review them because other people's feelings register in you like weather. Your guilt is not proof of guilt. It is proof of care played at the wrong volume. And then he says the sentence that may loosen something in your chest, dear viewer. A conscience is supposed to work like a smoke alarm. It makes a sound when something is actually burning. Yours has been rewired to play the full concert every night, whether there is smoke or not. The instrument is precious. The volume is broken. And volume, unlike character, can be fixed. What happens next is not a healing montage. It is an audit, which is how you know it is real. The visitor sits down with the entire set list and asks one question of every single stop. Did anyone actually ask for this apology? The 2014 joke goes first. Witness testimony is collected. The witness says, and this is a direct quote, "What dinner?" Case dismissed. The forgotten birthday. Apology already delivered, already accepted, soup already made. A court cannot retry a case because the defendant enjoys losing. Dismissed. The waiter. Dear viewer. The waiter. Dismissed with a small, respectful ceremony. But then, stop after stop, they find one that is real. A friend our human snapped at last month, tired and sharp, and never mentioned it again. The visitor circles it. This one, he says, is alive. This one gets an apology, a real one, out loud, to the actual human. Because that is the difference nobody taught us. Guilt that belongs to a real wound is a messenger. Guilt that belongs to an empty room is just a habit wearing the messenger's coat. 40 stops on the tour. One real letter to deliver. The rest was rehearsal for a show nobody booked. Before he leaves, the visitor tapes 4 small cards next to the bed, which is where the tour usually starts. Card 1. Apologize once, out loud, or not at all. If it is real, it deserves the actual person, actual words, one time. Head apologies do not count, dear viewer. They do not end anything. That is why they repeat. Card 2. Ask the question, did I do something wrong, or do I just feel wrong? Those are different animals. Doing wrong gets an action. Repair it. Feeling wrong gets a bedtime. Card 3. The friend test. Take tonight's charge and imagine your best friend confessing it to you. The joke, the period, the you too. Would you sentence them to 3 years of night shows? You would laugh, and you would love them, and you would order more fries. You are allowed to offer yourself the same deal. And card 4, the closing act. Each night, before sleep, name one thing you did right by someone today. You held the door. You listened. You showed up. The archive in your head has a full shelf of your worst moments and almost nothing else, not because your life looks like that, but because nobody ever filed the rest. Start filing, dear viewer. The librarian takes requests. Our documentary ends 1 month later, in the afternoon, at a small kitchen table. Our human is delivering the one real apology from the audit to the friend from last month, out loud, in person, hand around a warm cup. It takes 90 seconds. The friend says, "Thank you. Honestly, I barely remember it." And then, "Are you staying for dinner?" And that is it. That is the whole show. No lasos. 90 seconds and a second helping. And that night, 11 p.m., our human lies down and the house lights in the old venue stay off. The 2014 joke attempted a comeback tour last Tuesday. Nobody came. The stage is dark, the chairs are stacked, and the performer, for the first time in years, is simply a person falling asleep. So, one question before the credits. For you, the one watching this with your own set list glowing somewhere behind your eyes. If the people you keep apologizing to have long since gone home, who exactly is the show still for? You're allowed to cancel it. You're allowed to rest. That is the work we do at Chenzo Holistic Coaching, helping sensitive souls turn the volume of their care back to something they can live with. The address is right there in the description. Now deliver the one apology that is real, if you have one. And then, dear viewer, close the venue. The reviews were never about you anyway.
Hey, this is Chenzo. If this touches something in you, like this video and subscribe and share it with somebody who needs it. And if you want real help on your path, come to chenzoholisticcoaching.com. The link is below. With love.